Welcome back to Angel Walls Productions and God's Grace on Thee. I'd like to continue with the Phoenix Journals, the Pre-Flight Instructions, Chapter 29 through 30. Let us begin. Chapter 29, October 28, 1991. Hypocrisy rears its ugly head. Greetings, my precious little sister Jathea. I am Sananda, one with God, in service to His holy light and divine presence. Many ones know me as Jesus the Christ, Emmanuel, Isu, Isa, and the Pale Prophet. It matters not what I am called, for I hear thine petitions directed to my being. And so too do I hear the curses given in my name and that of our Father God. My scribe called Jathea is most saddened this day for what she perceives as intentional pain thrust at her and the ones she holds dear to her heart. I denounce the hypocrites of my time of life upon earth. These were the Pharisees and other ones of false religions. And you ones now face the same challenge, and the hypocrisy exists and is allowed among even my most devoted workers. I ask each one to look in the mirror and confront that hypocrite. Not I, you exclaim. Look more closely, chelas, for all of you have been hypocritical in your behavior at one time or another, and many of you still are this very day, spreading little rumors and gossip about one another, about things that are so ridiculous and petty that I wish you could see yourselves in action upon a video screen, for most of you deny it, and when confronted, continue to deny responsibility. When you speak kindly directly to the face of another, and then form opinions behind their back, which are contrary, and reveal your true feelings of personal inferiority, and then voice them publicly to others, you are a hypocrite in your behavior. If you ones listen to another's opinion about this or that person and do not bother to first consult, if you once listen to another's opinion about this or that person and do not bother to first consult with the person in question to find the truth, then you are behaving as a gossip hypocrite. If you are in the presence of one who openly proclaims opinions and judgments and or complains about others of your acquaintance, what do you do about it? Do you ignore them? Do you agree and conspire with them? Do you confront the gossip hypocrite directly to stop the behavior in your presence? And do you let the ones know what is said about them? Do you turn the other cheek? What do you do? That is the lesson, precious chelas. How much longer will you allow this intentional derision between you ones? Oh, are you afraid to confront the adversarial behavior? Join the most of humanity then, for that is why you remain as sheeple and not as the light or leadership. For you have allowed the adversary to bully you around and steal your dignity. The adversary will walk right over the top of you and smash the lifeblood of all godliness from you if you allow it. If you ones of mine here in the United States of America do not stop this madness, you will be devoured completely by evil, and so too the rest of your planet. Was I gentle in my confrontations with my adversaries here? Hardly. I was direct and to the point. I acted with the authority given of my Father within me and expressed His power and unbending justice and grace and love through me. I was denounced, discredited, slandered, and finally crucified by evil. But that did not stop my work on this planet. For our Father sent me to serve and bring His presence into action for all to witness and learn from. He never promised it would be easy, and I came knowing what I had to face. When you're centered by God. If you are afraid, then you are not centered by the power of godliness within you. For you deny your power and so become helpless in the degree of denial in self. Fear is an emotional human response. You choose to fear. No one makes you afraid. Like all emotional responses, you choose how you will respond. Now, this is one of your challenges, chelas. Call you conquer your fear and continue in service to God? Don't expect not to feel it. See it simply as a warning flag. Here is where I lack trust and faith and knowledge of the protection and guidance of my holy Creator, God working within me. Do you begin to see, precious ones of mine? You choose, and so you must live with the consequences of your choices. If you become paralyzed by fear to the point you allow evil to occur and you ignore it or feed it, you have therefore denied the presence and power of God within you to change the situation. And just look around your world, people. This corruption exists because those involved turned away and allowed this to continue, for they were more afraid of the perceived power of the adversary to harm them than they were trusting and in knowledge about God's power who exists within self. You deny God and you are powerless, helpless pawns. And so it has become. We of His hosts come to remind you of this power. You need not believe one word. You must know. Know. And you will never know anything of truth until you desire to know truth and serve the will of our Creator in calling the bluff of the adversary every time you recognize it to rear its ugly head. We will not force you, nor can we force you to come into knowledge. You will choose to know, or you will choose to believe the lies thrust at you and allow evil behavior to destroy you. Which will it be, chelas? There is no in between. Do you have the courage to cast out the adversary from your presence? For remember this, when God within shows you there is a problem here in front of you, and you do nothing to change it yourself, you become a part of the problem. Why do the scribes have pen names? This is a question of mine, one Druthea, who writes for me and other representatives directly from our lighted source, whom we often call Aton, meaning the one light or cause. I will explain this all since many have questioned the intent and why this is done. I will speak only in the case of Druthea, who is in her own mind a fairly new receiver, but in fact has been guided and protected since she agreed to come to earth in service. She is human, like all the rest of you. She is unsure of how she does this, for she perceives no separation from myself and Lord Michael, Saint Germain, and Aton. There is no separation, chelas, except in the energy expression of knowledge. This scribe's confusion comes because most of what we give she knows already. The way it is expressed is simply somewhat different than her own personality. and she feels as if she is given information from one mind, and so it is. Knowledge of truth, of spiritual connection, is the same knowledge. It is simply communicated in different ways and styles. It is the same truth. Do we all think alike? We know alike. When knowledge is acquired and put into action and works, yes, we are in agreement and enjoy the creative ways we work together to express this knowledge. Is Druthea inspired? Often, as are many of you who know you receive knowledge from something beyond your ego perception. This scribe is instructed to use the label or pen name for the time being by her at Aton's request. She does not desire personal ego acknowledgement for this work. She does not wish to be treated as a special guru of some kind and really wants to keep her ego self separate from the teachings. She wants all of you to know that you need not have illusions of some perfect person here, for she does occasionally feel most inadequate, fearful, angry, and saddened, as any human does who witnesses and participates within this drama upon your sick planet. She is a human being filling a role she agreed and was trained to fill. The message is what is important for you to ponder, and we honor the messenger for her devotion and commitment in spite of the unkindness thrust at her. So be it. Druthea has been sent for other important work besides this work, and the shoes seem much bigger than her feet at this time. So while she grows into her responsibility here, she desires privacy and no notoriety. For even I, as Emmanuel said, when I lived as human upon earth, these things I do, you can do, and greater. She also feels badly if ones are critical of the message, so until she achieves a certain degree of balanced detachment from ego self and ego opinion of others, we agree to allow the use of her pen name. The name itself means bringer of strength, teacher and gift of God, and is the higher name we of the host know her by. So in reality, it is her real name, so be it. I trust that this serves as adequate explanation, precious chelas. You will know when to come forward in identity as receiver. It is not necessary at this time, so do not worry or fret about it, beloved little sister. And remember, it matters not what ones think of you or the message. You have agreed to bring it to as I, Jesus, Emmanuel, did when I was in physical format. I will hold you closely within my light, precious, for you are a part of myself, of my very family, and I cannot and will not ever leave you alone. To you of my brethren on earth, please be gentle with yourselves and one another. Love each other and love your enemies, for you will find even they are a part of you and offer you lessons which will lead you home. If you only recognized your power and knowledge, which has existed within you and will never separate from you. We are all related, for we all come from our one divine, holy Creator, God, Aton. That which you do to the least of mine, you do to me. So be it. I am Sananda, which simply means one with God, my inherited label or earned awareness. No more and no less. All of you will join me. When will it be is your choice. I love you so greatly. When will you simply know the love of our Father within you? You could not utter one unkind word about another. You would not have the need to create such a word called hypocrite, for the behavior would not exist. Ponder it, precious ones. Ponder that which you do or do not do, and God will show you that which you must do. Will you listen to the still, quiet voice of God within you? Thank you, my little dove Druthea, for your service. Do not remain long in sadness, precious, for your light is much needed, and your brothers are depending upon your help and service. Be at peace within, and know. Salud. Chapter 30, November 25th, 1991. Fear, fear, fear. Greetings, precious little sister Druthea. I am Sananda. The term simply means one with God, inner awareness. You may know me as Jesus Christ, Emmanuel, Isu, Pale Prophet, and etc. I am the one who walked your place some 2,000 years past in your counting. I am not returned in the physical at this time. I promise to go and prepare a place for you, each of you, of God's children. And this I have done with the assistance of his hosts. The time is coming for my return upon your place to bring you ones of God's home to his places in the higher dimensions than this one you journey upon. And this final return will also mark the time my Father sends me for the final confrontation upon this place with the evil ones, that we may reclaim his kingdom, now possessed by and run by evil. You ones have lost your way, and we of God's hosts are come to show you the way home. It works not by grace or belief or faith alone. You earn your way into graduation through knowledge, awareness, and adherence to cosmic law. Put simply, balance in all transactions and interactions with life. You, as spiritually primitive developing humans, are now being tested greatly as to your commitment to know truth and knowingly balance within God's law. This is called serving the one Creator as his co-creator within creation. You earn your ability to co-create. And many of you ones are learning now very quickly how to discern that which is of God and that which is the lie of his adversary. Now this is what we bring forth. Truth, which can be verified. We offer an open door to spiritual truth, which you each are unfolding in this time of awakening, this time of seeking, and now finding God, who has always been within you. You need walk through the door we open unto you one, so that you may find your verification through your desire to know, and then taking the necessary action to know, and thus create with God his vision of peace. This is what we mean when we say God works with you, not for you. And God has already done his part. Now you must now do yours. In order to do God's will, you must know God within you and be like unto him. God only gives and re-gives love. All of his creation has been created through this fundamental principle of love, giving, and re-giving. You must give to God so that he can re-give to you. The imbalance you exist within at this time has occurred simply because you have forgotten or ignored this basic, fundamental principle of God's nature and the nature of creation. This law of life in motion is absolute. Do you see, precious ones? You suffer the consequences of defiance of the laws, whether or not you know or you don't know why. Why seeks cause. And many of you parents will notice many why questions coming from your children. A child, unless discouraged, will naturally seek to know cause. And every adult who finds any measure of happiness, harmony, and success in his or her life has found the cause of creating harmony, if it truly be so, through giving love, whether or not it was done knowingly or unknowingly. Now, many ones petition God and say, please give me more money. Please give me happiness. When in actuality, if these wishes deluded them, it is simply because the one has not done his part in the creation of that which he says he desires. So these ones might better ask God, please show me what I must know and do in order to create happiness and abundance in my life. And even better than that, why not simply say, Father, please show me that which I need to know and do in order to sustain in your service, that I may be an honorable reflection of you in my very thought, word, and deed. Not my will, Father, only let thine will be done. In this particular decree, you are setting aside your alter ego perception of what you think you need and are, instead allowing your Creator within you to show you what you actually do need to know and do to remain in His service and be like unto Him, giving and re-giving love. Then, of course, you must be willing to listen for your answers and direction, and then act upon what you are given to act upon. Since I have named this document Fear, 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 I will now explain why. Nearly all humans who exist upon this earth, Sean, at this time have experienced fear in some way or another. You ones are fear motivated and programmed. Fear is the product of your physical plane and of the appearance of separation from God. Promoting and inducing fear is a favored method of control used by the evil adversary. You see, no one can make you afraid. You choose to be afraid. You choose to be afraid as a response, just as you choose to be pleased as a response. And many religions have produced and developed a God of fear and wrath and punishment. Many religions have produced and developed a God of fear and wrath and punishment. And I will tell you that Father, Mother, Creator is none of these emotions. These belong to his adversary and are acted upon the physical dimensions. Those who are very attached to the physical body and places and things are often easy to frighten. You ones will flounder helplessly, dangling by your emotions until, of course, you find God of light and love within you, and have thus committed to His will and service. Then and only then will your doubts and fears become obscure memories in the motion picture called you. I am speaking of an inner peace, which my scribe has tried to describe as sitting in the hand of God, secure and more than secure, the fear is gone. And yet she knows that even these words do not completely describe her feeling. She is describing detachment from earth physical emotions. And does that mean she is now totally unemotional and never afraid? No. It simply means that she now knows the difference and knows it is her choice as to how she will respond in all circumstances. She has become acutely aware of her responsibility of creating her life. And in her decision to serve God of light and love, she has helped her recognize her folly of blame, helplessness, and separation from God. In other words, her lifeline, God, is secure, strong, and solid, as she has done her part to make it so. What I have described above is a part of a process of attaining God awareness and growing into God knowingness. Detachment, both emotional and physical is a large stepping stone across the raging river of life in the physical, which takes your soul, mind, consciousness into the higher light dimensions. Each of you who so choose to graduate will in the days ahead, if not already achieved. Be tested until you do step upon that stone of detachment and release this illusionary world of duality and limitation and move into the kingdom of heaven, which is love. Does this mean you float away into the clouds? Hardly, my precious ones. It simply means you're giving more responsibility in the reclamation process. You either are or will assist God's hosts and me, Sananda, in confronting the evil adversary and reclaiming God's kingdom here. There is much awakening of the little sleepy lambs to be done. Each of you will be moved. I trust passionately moved to awaken your brethren and expose the lies of the adversary. You will knowingly wear the armor of God in his service, and you will abide knowingly within his basic laws of balance. It is really very simple. We have given you all the tools within the Phoenix Journals to do just that. If you are unsure about the laws and the nature and structure of God and his universe and need some clear and concise reminders, please read the Phoenix Operator Owner Manual, as well as the 8 books in the Pleiades Connection series. Do your part and read his reminders. And I assure you, God will make sure you get what you need to give back love unto him so that he may re-give it to you. So be it. Thank you, precious Druthea, for your service. Do not concern over your lack of time to write for when I need your hands. I will make sure you know it, Chela. You do attend me most of the time in spite of the distractions. I don't need you to write daily at this time, for as long as you hear what God tells you, you are fine. Although I do desire that you remain in good practice of receiving, please listen for my call, and all will remain in balance with you. It is simply this. You must consider, little sister, your lessons are the lessons of many, and the sharing of same through this method is more valuable than you know. This is not about competition, precious. This is about the salvation of the very souls of God and children and of this beauteous planet. You offer a precious and wondrous example, even though you think it not be worthwhile example. And you occasionally simply indulge yourself in self-depreciation, for you know better, my little dove. Even self-depreciation simply reminds you of the human imperfection of this plane. All experience this unworthiness, Chela. Remember and recognize that you choose the feeling. This time has been very precious. Thank you, my brethren, for hearing the call. Please be gentle with yourselves and one another, and walk in the peace of which only our Father can unfold within you. I am Sananda, Isu, Jesus, Emmanuel. Salut, salut, salut.